Not this show getting me. What? Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another episode of dandadan. We're now on to episode 7 of the season, which is called To a Kinder World. So last episode, we introduced a new player in the mix, which was, what's her name? Eri, I think her name was. To make a long story short, she found the golden ball, and it awakened spiritual powers that she had, basically the ability to see the spirit world. And it was a two-way street because now that she could see them, they could also see her. And she got eaten up, basically, by this crazy lady who thought that she was her mother. So that's where we kind of ended the episode with, they did manage to defeat her, or almost defeat her. Either way, Momo set the girl on fire from the inside and everyone got spit out, but it's not looking so good for everyone if we can't figure out how to vanquish this very precious spirit. So I'm ready to jump into this episode. Let's do that. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be known when I drop these episodes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Oh, okay, we're in horror game mode. Don't like it. This animation is crazy already. Stop it. Yeah, you did that. You did that. Who did? The gaslighting. Wow, Momo's agility is insane. Exactly. At this point, we'll figure it out later. Well, how big is this warehouse? Well, move quickly. I'm gonna be taking beatings every time she's in a monster fight. Wiener boy? Excuse me. What do you know about it? Seriously, where's Momo's grandmother? Like, it's not gonna be. Oh, ma'am, the nails. A petty might be absolutely necessary. That's disgusting. Masticate. Now that's some fancy words. Momo, you back, girl? You made a mess. I mean, you look like you're getting scalped, sis. Just saying. Oh yeah, there is that. Maybe we spoke too quickly. Okay, yes! I was hoping Momo would get the whole hang of it. Ooh, yeah, the sound. Can we talk about this later? Just do it. Okay, fair. Right? Can you hurry up? Right? Quickly. Damn, Momo. Saved your life. Oh, jeez. Okay, no, everybody goes back. Oh, good. The way he snapped up in front of Momo, that was hot. That's what I'm saying. You okay, bro? Sure? Yeah, grab it quick. Don't tell me we lost the ball again. Oh, oh god, there is 2. I was right. Oh. Damn. She's in the intro. She'll be fine. Okay, guys, let's just wipe our fingerprints off and just gently walk away from the body. Just try it at this point. Oh, now that is handy. Excuse me, the heart can be revived, ma'am. The heart can be revived. Oh, is she so bothered? Ugh. 911. Is she actually calling 911? I told y'all you should have finished that off. With her no hands? Huh?
アイラの消えかかってるオーラを私のオーラで補
What
う
does that
のよ。
mean, though?
やろうって思ってんだろ。
Yuck.
もうこれで人は食えない。まだ信用できないというならこの鉄骨で頭を潰してちょうだい。
Okay, that might be real.
オーラがなきゃその女はこのままさ。
Who are you calling?
わかる。もう一回本気使えるよね。
He's like, no, but I'm gonna lie and say I
ロックオ
can.
ンしといて。
Ooh, the transformation looks so cool.
これ私のオーラとアイラの消えかかったオーラをつないで
Not you being a
通信ケーブルのように
spiritual jumper cable. Yeah, this is definitely gonna have long-term implications. That is a monster's or a spirit's aura. Something tells me she's not gonna be the same after this if she does survive. Well, she will survive, we know that. Who the hell is this now? Oh, maybe it's the spirit before she became a spirit, because in the flashback last episode, she remembered Eri coming to her as a child and calling her mama. So maybe this is who she was in the old world? Or before she died, I'm assuming? The dress. The monster was wearing, the yokai was wearing this dress. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely the yokai, pre-yokai, working multiple jobs. But where was she sleeping just now? Unless that's where she was making money as well. Kids really be trifling, you know. You be trying to sleep, and that's when they want to play. Yeah, money on the nightstand. God, do I want to know what happened to her daughter? I know, if I watched too many animes, there's no way that this ended well. Constant focus on money. Oh, she bought her the dress. Oh, the way they're doing this tableau of her story is so cool. 4, 5? 5? I think it was 5 candles. The fact that she's so obsessed with the dress, she won't take it off. You know, it'll be when kids fall in love with something like that. They just wear it out. The hair. Oh, God. Baby, no, stay away, baby, please. Took her daughter. The way that might be worse than if they'd done. Oh, God. So this goes back to the beginning, the flashback. At least you tried your best. Back to the focus on the feet. This broken dance now. This is beautiful. This is genuinely beautiful. Stop.
大切なものをなくした気がする。
And this was Eddie. This makes much more sense about why she was so obsessed about Eddie. Aira, sorry. Ari. So I keep killing Eddie. It's Aira. My bad, my bad.
遠いところに行っちゃったんだよ。
いつ帰ってくるの？
当分ずっと帰ってこない
For a
よ。
while. What is...
お母さんがいなくてもちゃんとできるよって。
アイラはちゃんと自慢できる子になる。
All right.
私の子はどこ？
Wow. She was so deeply in shock she forgot she lost her daughter, which is, again, definitely a protection mechanism.
私があの子を守る。誰もあの子を傷つけたりしないように。私が。
ももちゃん、どう
Are
した？
you okay,
あいつ
Momo?
に
待ってやめて。
Oh, she saw the whole... That was Momo seeing everything.
アイラ、あなたを守るって誓ったのに。
And you ate her.
私はあなたを傷つけてしまった。
Oh. Okay.
ただの化け物になっちゃった。だからもう終わりにするわ。
I feel like you should be at peace.
なくなれば死ぬさ。しかもこいつは未練を残したままだ。無駄。何もなくなる。
Damn,
こ
that's
いつ
dark.
はどの世界にも聖者からも死者からも全てから忘れられる。
Her daughter won't forget.
まあ
her.
どうせろくでもない人生さ。
Okay, you know what? Can we punt this cat?
無理だ。成仏できるかどうかはそいつの心の問題だ。
That part I get.
たくさん遊んであげればよかった。幸せだったろうに。
You don't know that. You don't know that. Oh.
お母さん、愛してる。
Maybe now she'll get peace.
幸せだったから。
And now knowing her story, that's, yeah, well, part of her story.
どうか誰も彼女たちを傷つけたりしない。優しい世界へ。
Oh, that's a beautiful scene. Ah, not this show getting me. What?
忘れない。絶対。
Yeah, I don't think Momo will either. Oh my gosh, that's it? That's how you end? Oh, wow. Damn, that was unexpected. Whew, let me get myself together. Wow, okay, was not expecting to get emotional with that one. Damn. That's one thing with this anime, man. You just never know what to expect. Like from the first episode, I would never have thought that we would have an episode like this, 7 episodes in at all. Like you would not have been able to. And about a character we were just introduced to 1 episode ago. As far I'm talking about the yokai, but I mean, Aira is a different story. Wow. So I guess, yeah, we see that Aira did not survive the ingesting by the yokai. And we see that thankfully Momo, you know, even though, I mean, I was being petty in the episode, y'all, you know, I hope you know that I'm joking. But yes, Momo was like, we got to save her, try to save her. And they tried, and we see that even though the yokai got wholly smashed by Okarun, which kudos to him, he's getting better at using these powers, although he's still got some work. She came to when she realized that Aira was about to be gone forever, and she said, nah, like that's not what I meant to do. Take my aura and use it to restart hers. And what I was a little bit confused about was like, you know how with what we've seen of Turbo Granny, like she's a spirit, right? She's not in this world anymore. She doesn't have a physical body as such. Like she had like an embodiment, but it's like she's more of a spirit than not. Or the sumo wrestler. The yokai in this case looks like she was still living. Like she morphed into the yokai out of her grief. And the story, again, like I said, you got to give a show complete props. If in the space of, what was that, 15 minutes, they told a whole story about this character to the point where, at least for me, I'm teared up because it's just so sad. Like we now because last episode we heard that she kept saying that, you know, that Eira called her mommy once and she's been following her for 10 years since. And of course that seems a bit obsessive. But again, when it comes to the whole spirit and monster world, who knows? Like maybe that's all it took. But in this case, we found out it wasn't just some monster thing. It was because of this sad series of events that led her to this moment where we see that we don't know the background of how she got to the place that she was, but the bottom line is that she was working multiple jobs, including probably looks like some jobs where she was selling her body even to that point in order to make ends meet. She had a daughter. Looks like their father is not in the picture. We don't know why. And it's not easy. It's not easy to raise a child on your own. And we don't know her situation, but considering that she was working multiple jobs that looked like they didn't pay very much, I think it's safe to say she didn't have maybe a ton of education or access. So it was hard. And it looks like the only joy she had, because the way they showed her literally almost dragging herself back to her apartment, and almost like she was loath to open the door. And again, I don't think it's because she was trying to hide from her little girl so much as like just how much of the world was pulling her down up until that moment. But then she opened up the door and there's this bright shining face of her daughter. And it's like you instantly see all the stuff that was making her feel some type of way in this world was all washed away, because her daughter's just pure joy and love was enough for her to feel like it was all worth it. And the way they just showed that tableau of all these little moments, like the mother was clearly a dancer, or at least took dance lessons, and she was teaching her daughter to dance, and it was this thing that they both loved and enjoyed. And of course that ties into what we saw of this monster who was always, balancing and doing her acrobatics. But the tie that it has between her and her daughter was, a lot more meaningful now that we see that this was something that she shared with her. And then the dress that we saw the yokai wearing last episode, through this whole thing, we see that it was a manifestation of this dress that she worked very hard to buy her daughter, which it seems like a small thing, but when you think of like for people who are living literally check to check, hand to mouth, like no spare cent is available for anything outside of survival, to be able to afford an extravagance like a dress is just that. It's an extravagance. It's something that most can't even fathom. So the fact that she wanted to do this for her little girl, and that she was willing to do all this extra work and do all these things that were probably not things she wanted to do, but because of the idea of what her daughter's face would look like when she gave her this treat, like that's what drove her to do it despite it. And again, showing that her daughter, when she got that dress, she never took it off. Like she loved it so much. And just beautiful, just a beautiful, beautiful tableau of this woman's life that was pretty much all, look, from the sounds of things or from the looks of things, it wasn't the happiest of lives, but that little girl, that connection she had with her was enough to keep her going. And that's so true of so many people in a similar situation, so many single parents as well, that life is not easy, but if you love that kid and that kid loves you back, it's enough to push you through some of the darkest of times. But then we see, it looks like she might have owed money to someone, or she might have taken money. I mean, we saw the money was shown a lot, like the money on the countertop or on the bedside table, it looks like. We saw her counting money a lot. I mean, some of it was obviously to save for the dress, but I'm assuming that one of those times we saw her grab money off the counter, maybe she took more than she was supposed to. I don't know. Or maybe she just owed money. Maybe the money she spent on the dress was what she should have put towards something else. But either way, somebody wanted something back from, I'm assuming it's about money. I don't see why these people would have done what they did to her if it wasn't about money. And we see that they beat her up horribly and took the most precious thing in her life, the reason she was living. They took her, and she has no idea where she is, what happened to her. And, I've heard so many times from parents saying that their worst nightmare is the idea of their kid being taken and not knowing if that kid's alive or dead, if they're okay, if they're healthy, if they're being mistreated. The not knowing is horrible. And that's why I said in the episode that obviously I hope the little girl lived, but if she, if she hadn't, at least her mother would have known. As much as it still would have broken her, she would have at least had the peace of knowing what happened. But the fact that she had no idea what happened, and that whole scene of her desperately running after she regained consciousness, trying to go after her daughter, doing what she could to try to save her and protect her, but she couldn't. She was too hurt. She physically couldn't do it. And how that broke her, because every parent worth their salt, their primary objective when it comes to their kids is to keep them safe. First and foremost, keep them safe. And she wasn't able to do that. And again, I'm not blaming her. It's not a blame thing, but that's, I'm sure how she was feeling. And so we see that just kind of broke her after that point, to the point where she was wandering around, broken, hurt, bloodied, and to the point where she didn't even remember. Like she literally, it was like, I feel like I lost something precious. And I said in the episode, this happens to people sometimes, where when they go through a severe trauma, they almost have an amnesia about it, but it's their mind's way of protecting them, because something is broken so deeply that they can't process it. So they'd rather kind of almost walk around in a haze than deal with the reality, which was this horrible thing that they don't want to face. And so we got so little. I'm inferring a lot here. Other people might interpret it differently, but that's what I pulled from it. And yeah, we see that she didn't really come back into the reality of things until that day that Eira came up and grabbed her. And of course, it was so reminiscent of the many times her daughter ran up and grabbed her legs or tugged on her and called her mommy. And we hear, that's what kind of was snapped her out of the fog and made her remember that, oh yeah, I had a little girl and I lost her. And she assigned Eira to her daughter because like the name, we never heard the daughter's name. We never heard her name either, but I think there was a reason they did that. And that's because for her, I don't think she can even speak her daughter's name at this point because of the pain it probably evokes. So it was now Eira. She was able to transfer all of that onto Eira. And then we see at that moment, she turns into the yokai because she's so angry and hurt about the fact that she couldn't protect her own daughter, that she was going to now make it her mission to protect Eira, right? That substitution, but understandable why she did it. And of course, we know that Eira did not see her from that point. But yeah, just seeing that that's the backstory was just heartbreaking, but understandable why she was so fierce about trying to get Eira to recreate these moments that meant so much to her, not realizing that Eira, A, wouldn't remember her, and B, that that's not actually her daughter. And we got in that flashback as well, we learned a bit about Eira, because Eira was, part of this connection, which by the way, Momo doing this spiritual transfer with her abilities. We find out that Eira's mom passed away when she was quite young. And, her dad decided to tell her that her mom had gone far away, which, I'm not going to judge a parent. I can't imagine having to break that kind of news to a kid. But either way, we now understand a bit more why Eira would have even grabbed a random woman and called her mommy. And, that the loss that Eira's felt over her mom being gone from such a young age. And then this yokai who as a human lost her daughter at such a young age. You understand why that bond very instantly in that moment became super strong. And I love that they showed like poor Momo, first of all, getting her butt kicked, first of all, but again, just a badass. Can we just take a minute to appreciate that Momo is a badass? What she's been able to do thus far is crazy, but I digress. But Momo being the bridge between, these auras, of course she gets both of these stories, and she's understandably a mess, and she understands more, and like she feels for this yokai. Like obviously a few minutes before she was ready to kill her, but now she's like, wow, actually, now that I see your story, I feel for you. I feel like you need help, not to be taken out. You need to be helped, and maybe we could reverse what's happened to you. But anyway, we see that she literally gave her life for Eira's, which is something that she would have done for her daughter. It looks like if she could have, but that moment where, Eira wakes up, and of course, I think she was privy to the whole backstory as well. And she now understands the connection this yokai has to her. But I think just with everything, as I said, the fact that she's been feeling this loss and this hole in her life because her mom is gone, and the same thing that this yokai had, they both understood why they kind of needed each other inadvertently. And maybe under different circumstances, it wouldn't have turned out this way. But anyway, we see that Turbo Granny, ever the empathetic one, she basically is like, yeah, well, she gave up her aura. She's going to go into nothingness, and she's got regrets, so she's not going to get to pass over or whatever they do. So yeah, she's basically just going to cease to exist and no one will remember her. She's going into the void, doesn't matter. And she's very callous about it, but understandably, Momo and both Eira are like, no, like that's not okay. I somewhat get Turbo Granny's, like Turbo Granny's probably seen too many spirits in this particular position. So, and again, empathy is just not her strong suit. We already know this. But anyway, we see that Eira ends up giving her a hug as she's literally fading away, and just basically lets her know that she does call her mom. But again, now knowing her background, I feel like she's saying all the things she wished she could have said to her mother if she had known and understood what had happened to her at a younger age. But yeah, I just thought it was beautiful how they showed that they had that beautiful little healing moment before, she disintegrated, and the fact that Eira said, I won't forget you, like I'll never forget you. So, it's better than nothing, and who knows, hopefully that gave this yokai enough peace maybe to go where she needs to go. But yeah, just a beautiful storytelling, guys. Like that was 20 some minutes. That wasn't very long, but the amount of storytelling they did and how brilliantly they did it and how beautifully they did it. I'm starting to think this anime is going to need some awards, is all I'm saying. Like, get the awards ready. This one had better rank pretty darn high in the next award ceremonies that come up, because this was brilliant. And such a, like I said, such a crazy departure. Like, it fits with the theme of the show, but you would, like I said, looking at episode 1, you would never have thought that you would have ended up with an episode like this, but it works and it's great. And as I always say, that it's nice to have a balance in a show like this, from the crazy action antics to kind of come back to something that's a little bit more like, oh, okay. I mean, maybe not this sad, maybe not all of them be this sad, but it's showing that this show's got range, which I really appreciate. So, whew, this was a long review, guys, but I feel like there was no way to just kind of zip through this. Like, it was such a beautiful and tender and kind of a deep topic to touch on, but really, really well done. And so we'll have to see. And the good news, Okurun's got one of his nuts back. I was right, though, that there's two. I thought maybe, I wasn't sure, because the way that Turbo Granny talked about it, it was like, okay, is it just one ball that has both the nuts in it or what? But they specifically said he's got one of his nuts back. So there's another ball, which again, I mentioned that I noticed in the intro that there's two people. There's this girl, the girl who we now know as Eira, and now there's another guy too. So my guess is that Okurun's other nut must be with this person, but at least one down is better than nothing. So yeah, that's one good thing that came out of this episode. So yeah, very good. Very, very, very good. This anime is crazy. I would have never expected going into it that it would be like this, but I'm enjoying the ride thoroughly. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.